Surah 21 verse 33 says that, "And he it is who has created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon, each in an orbit floating." This Mohsin Khan's translation is quite accurate. Sahih International and some other translations find this verse a bit embarrassing and hence inserted heavenly bodies within brackets. However, the word by word morphology from Corpus Quran's website has no mention of heavenly bodies at all. Hence, as per Surah 21:33, the night floats in an orbit, the day floats in an orbit, the sun floats in an orbit, and the moon floats in an orbit. In fact, the same thing has been repeated in Surah 36:40. We all know that day is simply due to the presence of sunlight, and absence of sunlight causes night. This simple and basic fact is neither clarified nor mentioned in the entire Quran, although Quran talks about days and nights on so many occasions. In fact, Quran makes it appear as if night and day are independent entities and have nothing to do with the sun. Now, the statement that night and day are swimming in an orbit are pure nonsense and comes from sheer ignorance. The fact that sun and moon orbit around the earth is the geocentric model which was the common understanding during Muhammad's time. The Quran also echoes another standard idea of geocentrism, the seven heavens concept. Each of the seven heavens correspond to one of the seven celestial bodies: Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The concept of heliocentrism was introduced by Copernicus 9 centuries after Muhammad, that is, in the 16th century. Allah made no attempt to correct or challenge the false geocentric concept and the notion of seven heavens. In fact, it pretty strongly endorsed it. Now, a Muslim apologist typically takes advantage of the vagueness in Surah 21:33 or Surah 36:40. The verses say that the sun swims in an orbit, but it does not categorically mention that the sun orbits the earth. Hence, after modern astronomy has shown that the sun, and in fact the entire solar system, orbits the center of our Milky Way galaxy, Muslim apologists have started arguing that this is what the Quran actually meant. Bravo! You Muslim apologists really work very hard to save Allah's. Now, there is a problem with this argument. Since the Quran didn't define about what object the sun and the moon are orbiting around, it implies that the Quran is going with the common understanding of that time, that is, both the sun and the moon orbit around the earth. Otherwise, it would have challenged the common understanding. This conclusion is further supported by the fact that the night and the day are, quite hilariously, also orbiting around something, and that something must be the earth. This is the only logical conclusion from this logic defying verse. The Quran and the Hadiths also keep endorsing the concept of sunrise and sunset. Although the sun does not really rise or set, it is what we perceive on earth. I'm not even going into the sun setting in the murky water thing. Allah and Muhammad never for once corrected or challenged this misunderstanding. Now, coming back to the Muslim apologists' claim about sun orbiting about the Milky Way galaxy. If this fact was so clear in the Quran, and by the way, Quran does claim over and over to be a clear and detailed book, then why did the Muslims have to wait for 14 centuries to understand the true meaning of this verse until Western scientists figured it out? Why didn't the remarkable Muslim astronomers during the Islamic Golden Age, like Al-Farghani, Ibn al-Haytham, Al-Khatibi, were able to figure out that the sun is orbiting the center of the Milky Way galaxy? In fact, Muslim astronomers were not even able to discover the simple fact that it is the Earth which is orbiting the Sun, not the other way around. However, 21st century Muslim apologists keep on claiming that the Quran has all this knowledge. Furthermore, it took 14 centuries for Muslims to understand these verses. Then, are Muslims sure that they understand any other verse in the Quran? For example, the verse on fighting disbelievers might actually mean something else, like offering disbelievers a piece of cake or something. Anyways, coming back to the sun's orbit issue. Now, this is from NASA's website. Not only the sun, but the entire solar system. So, the sun, the moon, the earth, the Mars, the Jupiter, etc., and their moons and the comets, all of them are orbiting around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It takes 230 million years, I repeat, 230 million years to make one complete orbit. Hence, it has absolutely no relevance to the occurrence of day and night. Now, imagine three friends, Sun, Moon, and Earth, are sitting on chairs and having a good time. Now, if I say that these friends are at rest, that is, they are not moving, I don't need to make any more clarification. My statement simply implies that they are at rest relative to the ground. The fact that the globe is spinning and the solar system is orbiting the Milky Way galaxy are irrelevant here since these guys are experiencing it equally. It does not cause any relative change in the position of these guys. Likewise, everything in the solar system orbits the Milky Way galaxy at the same speed. So, this orbital motion about the Milky Way galaxy does not cause any relative change between the positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the Earth. On the other hand, if I claim that the Sun guy is moving, then that's a wrong statement. It would imply that there is a relative change between the positions of these friends. If I meant that the globe is spinning and the solar system is orbiting the Milky Way galaxy, so these three guys are in motion, then I cannot simply single out the sun guy. I have to clarify that all these guys, the chairs, the field, and in fact everything on this globe, are equally experiencing the motion, which implies that these guys are relatively at rest. In summary, this verse simply implies this and corroborates with the geocentric narrative. It adds that the night and day float in orbits, which is pure gold.